More yapping about sugar within the high-fat community. But right here, I found some interesting talk going off the narrative, talking about the food matrix, which has been a specialty of mine going back about 5 years. Hi, everybody. This is Gary, the high-fruit, high-octane carburetor.
Jam it all in the carburetor and the gas, everything. We're going all in on this.
Get some molasses.
And we're going to watch this video together, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on all the stuff that Joey Schwartz here talks about, which we hardly ever hear, especially from this crowd.
So Shawn Baker just put out this video titled "New Study: Sugar Causes This Disease." Now, there's this whole demonization of sugar in the carnivore movement, obviously, because it isn't a completely sugar-free diet. Meat and there's protein and fat, basically. Those are your two macros.
See there in Shawn's video, the title of his video, New Study: Sugar Causes This Disease. Notice that ends with a question mark. And yeah, I can tell you sugar is not the cause of any disease. It can contribute to many diseases, though, if you eat enough of it. And also, new study. Well, Joey's going to get into that one. But you know my view on studies. It's a problematic area, especially new studies. I was making fun of the term new study like 5 years ago.
I'm going to give my thoughts on the problem with conflating all these different types of sugar. High fructose corn syrup with fruit. Different types of glucose with potatoes, like the problem with putting all these together and just saying sugar.
Yep, I've been talking about that for many years, maybe 9 years. The low-carb community does this. So many people have called them out over the decade, and what I've been noticing lately is they're still doing this, but they have to know better. But maybe not all of them are doing it, but definitely the carnivore community with Shawn Baker here. They're mostly just scammers. It's like a certain political movement where it doesn't matter if it's not true. It's the narrative that their audience wants to hear. Even though the carnivores might get their channels in trouble while other people are maybe going to prison.
And I'm just going to give my thoughts on sugar in general in this videos. But first, let's see what he says and let's get into this study that maybe it's groundbreaking. Who knows?
Well, let's take a few minutes to talk about sugar. A lot of us are out there realizing, hey, sugar's not good for me. But there's a lot of people out there.
Oh, give me a break. I don't understand this. This is nothing new. It's, in fact, the oldest thing is that everyone knows sugar's bad, known it for many decades. So I got to wonder, you should wonder, why we have all these videos that pop up on YouTube warning us about sugar. Oh, it's bad, people. And every one of those videos gets 1 million views. Why? Why are people watching a video telling you sugar's bad when we already know it is?
Saying, no, sugar's fine. It's the seed oils.
So yeah, most sugar is bad, but the seed oils are really, really bad.
And I don't think that's true. They're both problematic, but maybe only if you eat a lot of seed oils, a lot of sugar. The problem with seed oils is the omega imbalance, and so you'd have to eat a lot of that for it to be a problem. And not all seed oils are the same in their omega profile.
Well, what does the literature actually say on this? So there's a new study published.
What does the literature say? Come on, this is a problem with the doctors. This is a problem with watching doctors. What does the literature say? I could read the literature. The literature is meaningless, especially if it's some.
Well, what are we talking about by literature? Studies are problematic, but what's the literature? Nothing's meaningless, but you have to put it in its proper place. It's just one part of the puzzle.
Some big meta-analysis, or even if it's controlled, it's not actually controlled. Are they controlling for your sunlight? Are they controlling for blue light exposure? No? Then throw the study away. It doesn't mean anything.
Okay, right here, Joey Schwartz is bringing up a good point. In controlled studies, you can't control for everything, which is why you don't just do one study and draw a conclusion. We have a ton of studies out there done in different ways with different controls. And see, over time, you can put all these studies together, which is what they're really meant for. The way our culture uses studies is so wrong. The media gets a hold of one and puts that one out, getting people to draw a conclusion from one study.
Doesn't mean anything.
Was just here in April of 2023. They reviewed
and speaking of which, what I was just saying, here's Shawn Baker doing exactly what I was just saying is so wrong. There's a new study out, new study. Like 5 years ago, I was making videos saying, when you see the term new study or someone talking about a new study, let that be a red flag to you.
So is your sweet tooth killing you, or is it harming your kids? Well, let's take a look at this. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Shawn Baker. Today we're
Just fear mongering. Is your sugar going to harm your kids?
Yep. I was thinking of saying something like that. Is it killing you? No, it's not. Unless you're just eating a really bad diet.
I mean, yeah, if you feed them ice cream from Ben & Jerry's and garbage like that, high fructose corn syrup, yeah.
For breakfast.
But if you feed them some local fruit, I don't think so.
reviewing a study that, again, just came out. What's so special about this one? It reviewed 73 different separate meta-analysis.
So, good time to find out here about what's Joey's motivation here. Where's he coming from with this video? Because latest I heard is he doesn't eat any carbs, and he used to eat moderate fruit until he went full carnivore and says he felt better. Well, he has some IBS problems, so he's got problems with things like fiber, right? But here he is saying fruit is okay, for the average healthy person with no conditions.
The researchers looked for disease associations or outcomes from a large number of papers. They found significant harmful association between sugar consumption and 18 different endocrine or metabolic outcomes.
Yeah, if you eat enough of it, and if you're eating a lot of sugar, well, where are you getting that sugar? Do people just take bags of sugar and just pour it over the regular food they eat?
We're going to get a 10 pounds of sugar, pack it into a 5-pound bag, and jam it all in the carburetor and the gas.
No, that's not how they're getting the sugar. They're drinking sodas. They're eating ice cream, cookies.
Not surprising at all. Not surprising at all. Because like I mentioned earlier, what types of sugar are they consuming? Is it hyper-processed garbage that's ridden with pesticides? Or is it a potato from your local farmer that you're eating in a stew with local hyper?
Well, I hope that's what the study wasn't referring to by sugar. When people say sugar, they should be talking about sucrose, refined table sugar. But they conflate things, so you never know for sure unless they specify.
Quality meat, or is it maybe a fruit that's hanging on your tree in the backyard? Do you understand why these are
Yeah, I had one of those yesterday. Got some apples coming in.
not the same thing? Well, you can't just put sugar into the same category. All sugar is sugar. It digests the same. No, it doesn't.
Correct.
No, it doesn't. Not all sugar is taken in properly.
A week of sugary beverage, each single serving of sugary beverage per week.
Yeah, and we all know soda's not good for you. But when it comes to sugar, the sugar in soda is one of the least harmful things about soda.
Oh, since it's sugary beverage, it's not even, it's,
Right.
sugary beverage. Yeah, fine.
Right.
But this should be like new study, sugary beverages
Right. And that's not breaking news.
cause this problem, not sugar. It's just incredibly misleading. Incredibly misleading. This is not your fruit from your backyard that's given
I never thought I'd be watching an entire video of Joey Schwartz and agreeing with just about everything. It's very interesting.
you osteoporosis.
Oh, by the way, his fan base, his regular viewers, had a big problem with this video.
Increase the risk of gout by 4%. Every 250 milliliters, only 8 ounces. Increase the risk of coronary artery disease by 17%. Increase the risk of all-cause mortality by 4%. Every 25 grams per day increases in fructose consumption, including fruit sugar.
Is he really going to conflate the fructose?
See that eye roll? Very interesting. Even he gets this one, that you can't even compare the refined powder, the crystals, high fructose corn syrup to fruit, even though people are easily tricked with that. Because, yeah, it's the same thing, but it doesn't work the same in your body. See, that's the part they leave out.
Is he really going to conflate the fructose in fruit drinks with the fructose in fruit? Again, guys, this is so annoying. Like, you need to realize.
Now he knows how we feel over here in the high fruit community. Joey is learning fast. Like, faster than anyone I've ever seen. I was hoping this would happen when I first heard about him and found out he's 18 and just jumped into this diet community.
Like, the whole food needs to be looked at in the context of the food matrix. There are certain cofactors needed to metabolize certain things. I've said this so many times. Good quality animal foods, you eat things with collagen, and then you get the glycine, and you also get the methionine. Nature made things pretty well, guys. Nature didn't really mess up here.
Right, and this is amazing, what he just said there. I made up what he just said there years back. I said it almost just like that. It might be even in my book that I wrote 6 years ago. Nature didn't make mistakes. Nature didn't get it wrong.
Guys, nature didn't really mess up here. When I bought this entire land,
Carbohydrates are in every single thing. But you're saying, well, these carnivores, what about the keto diet? Yeah, they're eating meat from the stores, which used to have sugar in it. Muscle stores glycogen, but that's gone by the time it's in the store. Carbs are in everything. It's normal to be eating carbs.
Okay, that shows that we should be eating stuff with a lot of that because, you know, we're meant to take down an animal, eat the whole thing.
No, we're meant to pick fruit off the ground.
What's my point in saying this? Well, my point in this little rant is that nature packs whole foods in a certain way with certain things. We don't need to understand why it happens. We just need to respect nature and respect its principles.
That's a good one right there. There's some things, I've thought of this for so many years. You know, people think they need to be able to explain everything. Get to the mechanism, can we please? But no, it doesn't require that we understand something. We should respect nature. And that's what my fruitarian diet is all about, respecting what we are and our place in the circle of life.
This conflation with fruit, sugar, and a Pepsi is ridiculous.
Saw a 22% higher risk of pancreatic cancer. Dietary sugar consumption was associated with.
So he showed a picture there of fruit and mentioning fruit sugar, but was this study using fruit? I can pretty much guarantee you, I can guess it was not, because I've been there and done that.
This goes along with previous studies, such as the one in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine from 2019.
Why is he citing studies? Why is he citing studies as if any of it matters?
Because cherry picking studies is a way of tricking your viewers. I hardly ever cite studies.
And follows a diet that is completely antagonistic to most studies. So why are you just cherry picking? Why are you citing them at all? Like at this point, just be like, I don't respect the studies. They're all funded and paid for. I'm not going to cite them. Like, take a stance and stick to it instead of just like being a suck up like this. This is not like, this is just a joke to me.
That's 1,234.
I appreciate you coming on, and we're going to get into a lot of really interesting topics today.
It's great to be on with you. Like I was saying, I think you're going to be the next Lex Friedman. So we're all really lucky to know you now.
Thanks. I hope so. I love Lex. Yeah.
Comes at 3 to 7 years of age, and they found that sugar-sweetened beverages reduced childhood cognition. I mean,
this is just as bad as promoting veganism as far as the principle goes, because it's just like, yeah, I'm going to cherry pick what I want and then make a case for it. You can make a good case for veganism if you just take the literature for what it is. If you believe it, then yeah, you can make a case for anything. Like, this is not.
And I have said that too. I said that same thing. If you cherry pick from all the information out there, you could make a case for anything. You could make anything sound good if you wanted to.
And 1.77 times more likely for diets that have more than 10% of total energy from added sugars.
Added sugars.
Added sugars increase the probability of overweight.
I don't think anyone's even really disagreeing with him here as far as like the content of the video. Nobody advocates for processed sugar. Everyone knows that's bad at this point. The real debate is kind of...
Is Joey forgetting his debate with Durian Rider? Okay, we've covered it. You may want to check out my last video, which also happened to be about Shawn Baker. He was contradicting himself hard. And there's some person in the comments just saying, oh, Shawn Baker is great. He is just well educated. Well, why is he contradicting himself like that? But first, post a comment below and get into the Food Matrix food fight.